With some cooler weather on the way, we headed out on the Dinosaur Trail to see the revamped Age of Dinosaurs Museum near Winton in Queensland's far west. While on tour, we planned to check out some other dinosaur landmarks, as well as try our luck with some gemstone fossicking before winding down with a few days exploring Carnarvon Gorge National Park. First leg of our 3,000 kilometre odyssey takes us to Gidgee Bush Camp near Morven, at starting point of the Landsborough Highway. Gidgee's Bush Camp is a fairly new campground we found on Hip Camp. The sites are still being developed and are a little rough, but the amenities are fantastic. And the host's coffee shop and eclectic retreat area space is something you'd expect to find in the most boho suburb of a capital city. It's a must-stay destination. After overnighting at Morven, we cut a line northward through the central western towns of Augathella, Tambo and Blackall. Once past the famous Black Stump, we pulled into Barcaldine, birthplace of the Australian Labor Party during the 1880s shearer strikes. The famous tree of knowledge under which the shearers held their meetings had been poisoned, but a breathtaking memorial structure that creates a simulated canopy of the once grand ghost gum makes for a fantastic landmark. Next stop, Longreach, to refuel and rest for the night before visiting the Stockman's Hall of Fame and the Qantas Birthplace Museum. After enjoying a stockman's lunch, we were trucking northward again to Winton and then to a home for a couple of nights in the front paddock of Ayrshire Downs Sheep Station. Although the Ayrshire Downs campground looks somewhat bare and austere, this Hip Camp listed site is part of a history-rich property, and what it lacked in facilities it more than compensated for at sunset. And if you thought sunset was grand, the gift for waking early was a mind-blowing Technicolor sunrise. First stop on our Dinosaur Discovery Day was the Age of Dinosaurs Museum, a working facility that showcases and explains the prehistoric discoveries made in the area. From there, we headed down the rough and dusty Winton Junda Road to the Lark Quarry Conservation Park, site of the world's only known record of a dinosaur stampede fossilised in the bedrock. It's not only old bones that have a story to tell. I love finding these old car wrecks. Next morning, with the camper packed and hitched, we leave Winton and shortcut across the black soil plains to Muttaburra, home of Australia's most famous dinosaur discovery. The Muttaburrasaurus Interpretation Centre does a great job of explaining the history of the dinosaur find and recounting how the animal would have lived. little further down the road, we rolled through Aramac on a sleepy Sunday afternoon. We already had lunch on the go, spicy chicken fillets from the oven to complement the hot chips we bought at the local service station. Our next camp was made at the Sapphire caravan park, tucked away on an unpowered site, but with plenty of friendly locals at the 5 o'clock happy hour. Well, time to get our backs into it, doing what the Central Queensland Gemfields is famous for. Fossicking for precious gems is a pretty simple process. In this area, they are mostly in a wash rubbled layer, just below the surface. After digging away the rocks and topsoil, the gem-bearing layer is scraped and shoveled into buckets. The collected dirt is sorted and graded using a simple trommel, with the target grid size being collected for later washing.
Hold on, because I can't get you all in. Alright.
Last time we just pulled it straight out. From here, the dirt is sieved and washed to reveal its payload, before being tipped on an old piece of fabric for inspection in the sunlight. Our luck wasn't in this day, with just a few colourful specks found for our trouble. Our next destination was the stunning Carnarvon Gorge National Park, after first grabbing supplies and a coffee in Emerald. On the way into the park, we passed the memorial for one of the many World War II plane crashes spread across the northern half of Australia. The twisted wreckage and story of the crash made for a moment of quiet, sobering reflection. With some cool weather forecast, we collected firewood on the road into the national park, then headed to the campground. Unfortunately, there is no camping in the main part of the national park, The newly established Sandstone Park was still a work in progress but offered level sites, clean portaloos and a spectacular vista over the sandstone escarpments of the gorge country. But it still feels exposed compared to our preferred bush camping destinations. As night falls, it's time to put some of that firewood to good use. After a cosy night, and with breakfast cleared away, we pack up and head to the park. Hiking the trails of Carnarvon Gorge offers a great diversity of experiences, from open gum forests and stony ridgelines to cool rainforest and gurgling streams. As well as its natural features, the park offers some amazing recent history left by our nation's first people, with paintings and pictographs adorning some gorge walls and caves. While there are some easy walks near to the entrance of the park, the best sites are at the end of some lengthy walks, many of which include creek crossings, stairs and rough tracks. If you were to pick just one natural wonder to head for, make it the Moss Garden, a creek-fed labyrinth deep in a side gorge that is lined by a curtain of dripping wet moss. Like all good journeys, this one ended all too soon, and tomorrow we head toward home. Perhaps we'll see you on our next adventure.